Here we are back for another Cowbell episode, and excuse the croaky voice here, folks, but I've just come off 4 days at the Hoka Runaway Sydney Half Marathon up here in the Domain. It's been an absolutely massive weekend, and I wasn't even on the microphone. Well, I was a little bit, but that's a long story. But of course, we've got Kelvin here. How are you, Kelvin?
Yeah, I'm very good, Dave. I couldn't be better actually. I'm start tapering for my first mile like in 10 days, and yeah, can't wait.
That is incredible, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you up in the Blue Mountains there for Ultra Trail Australia by UTMB, brought to you also by Hoka. But again, we have an extra special guest this evening here on the podcast, and it's also fitting coming into Mother's Day here this weekend. I'd like to introduce you to Mel Warman to the podcast as our guest this evening. Mel is a good friend of mine, but also very involved within the running community, both here in New South Wales, but also I would almost say nationally, beyond that, and maybe even internationally. She is the founder and CEO of Boobs on the Run, and also very much involved with the Mother's Day Classic in terms of on the board there and part of the organisation of the Mother's Day Classic. So we're going to cover off all of those things. Mel, welcome to the Cowbell.
Thank you so much, and what an introduction.
I'm practicing. I'm getting
Yes,
ready because I may
na-
be a little bit involved with that event on the weekend.
you certainly will be, and you have been in the past, and we really thank you for doing that for us. It's always great to have people with running experience come and MC those kind of events, even though it is a fun run. It's really great to get someone who understands the running community and really, can rear up the crowd as you go as well.
No, that's awesome, and thank you for coming on. You definitely sprung to mind when when Calvin was the one that coerced me into being part of this podcast, and we were talking about the types of caliber of people that we wanted to interview. You definitely came to mind in this. So Mel, as we do with most of our guests here, the stage is yours. So please, let us know about your running background, or not even just your
Mm.
running background, and your involvement in the community of running that you hold so close to your heart and that you are very passionate about.
Well, I've got to say, I feel like a bit of a fraud, really, being here on this podcast because I've only ever done one ultra, and that
No,
was a
it's not.
couple of years ago. I know a lot of a lot of the people on your podcast have been ultra runners so far, but yeah, I've done one ultra, so I can say that I'm an ultra marathoner at least. So,
Running's generalized here.
Yes.
um, so I started running when I was 12. Started in the athletics arena, and then went on to do cross country. I'm obviously from the UK, you can tell by my accent. And I moved to Australia. Oh, what are we now? 15 years ago. And at that time, I'm still running, and I was calling around to lots of different run clubs. And I just could not find a run club that was just casual. You could turn up. First question you got asked was how fast can you run a 5K or a 10K? And I was just looking for something a bit different, just a bit social. And there's many of those clubs around now, but at that time there weren't. So I decided I was going to put out a call on a local Facebook page, ask people if they wanted to come to learn to run. I did my coaching qualifications in the UK with Athletics England. And yeah, I just put out a call. And the first week we had 7 people turn up. And the second week we had 15 ladies turn up. And from there on, it was like, yeah, I can probably make a business out of this, and we can create a community for amazing women. So Boobs on the Run was born. Now, why
Mm.
Boobs on the Run? Well, we're raising money and awareness for the National Breast Cancer Foundation because 17 years ago, I lost my mum to breast cancer. She, while she was going through her treatment, raised a huge amount of money for her local hospital, for the oncology department, and to help others who were going through the process of having chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and their families just be more comfortable in the hospital. She did things like she shaved her head in the middle of a pub and got everyone to throw money in. She ran an online stationery business. Um, and she just raised a huge, huge amount of money. I think it was around $70,000 equivalent during that time. Unfortunately, she did lose her battle to cancer and got a secondary cancer, secondary lung cancer. But I wanted to start this to continue her legacy, to continue raising money for life-saving research, because we want to ensure that no one dies from breast cancer moving forward. It's one of those diseases that we really, really want to eradicate. We know it will probably continue being there, but if we can stop death by breast cancer, that's the most important thing. And the way we do that is via research.
So with the running group, or with Boobs on the Run, I mean, when you said you were looking for like-minded people, looking for that, was it always intentionally that it was going to be women only at that point, or did you start that way?
So I put it out initially to online Facebook mums group in the inner west of Sydney, and so that's kind of how it started. So women only were turning up, and it was actually really nice not to have men around, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because we can talk about anything and
Mm,
everything. And I always liken running to, it's like a level playing field when you're standing side by side together. Conversation can really flow really easily. You can ask questions, you can answer questions without having to look someone in the face. And we talk about anything and everything in our run club. You know, if someone's having a bad day, come to run club. If you're having a good day, come to run club. It's always about having that community, that connection, and having the confidence to be able to come and meet new people and meet new women who you might not always have met in your day-to-day life. Because we have women who are from students to CEOs and everything in between. We actually have a lot of teachers and a lot of nurses. They obviously lead very busy lives, but yeah, anything in between. And we get to meet some amazing women along the way. I mean, Boobs on the Run has been now, we just celebrated our 11th birthday,
wow.
and we've had over 5,000 women come through our programs and learn to run. And to me, that's just amazing that we have brought women into the world of recreational running. And some have gone on to do ultras, some have gone on to do tri, some have gone on to do bigger things, scarier things. And I just think that's fantastic that we've shown them that they can do hard things. And there's a pathway. That's running's not just running, there's a journey involved as well. And we
Because
all elevate together.
yeah, because your programs are very intentional. I mean, they're very structured. When I say that, I mean I remember, oh, geez, what did it be? 2018 when I think I first met you. We were doing some stuff there at the runner shop in Clovelly, and we had one of the groups come down. And I think it was the first Eastern Suburbs chapter that was being set up of Boobs on the Run because you've been running it in the inner west there. And I was very moved and very blown away by that. I guess the individuals that were coming to that group because they weren't. What I got from straight away was it was a welcoming place. It was a place that there was no facade, there was no pretentiousness, but it was a safe place. That's the word I'm looking for. It was a very safe place because whether they'd been runners before and then they've gone and had children, or they've come back to running and they wanted to be around like-minded people, or whether they've never run before. And I know this from my own experience of women that have said to me, it was like, "Oh, I want to come to run clubs and I want to do these things, but I just don't feel comfortable running with all of the such and suches and this and that. And I can't run 5K yet." So your programs are very intentional. Explain how they work.
Mm.
So, yeah, we want to bring women into the world of recreational running, and to do that, they have to feel safe. And doing running together makes it safe for us to be able to go out and run. I mean, I've had male friends say to me, "Oh, I can get up at 3 o'clock and go for a run." It's like, I wish I could do that, and they just have no understanding that as a woman, I don't necessarily feel safe doing that. And that I have to go with someone else or during daylight hours as well. But our big motto is that nobody gets left behind. And I know other women who have gone to other run clubs where they've gone out and they've gone out really fast and they're like, oh, okay, I've just been left. And it's just not fun when that happens. But yeah, our programs are about getting women moving. We're not about being fastest or first. There's no competition. As you say, there's no facade. It's about proving that motion is lotion and movement is medicine, and that we can help each other exceed, not just in our running journey, but outside of that as well. So everything we coach isn't necessarily about running either. It's about building confidence, building self-esteem, going and asking for that raise at work because we've done some power poses, or we've talked about thinking about ourselves whilst we're running as well, and spending time on ourselves. Unfortunately, a lot of women don't. They'll spend money on them on their families, so they'll drop $200 for their kids' shoes, but if it would come to them, they wouldn't spend that money on themselves. And I think we need to change that narrative, that we actually need to look after ourselves to be able to look after other people. It's the old adage of, when the mask comes down from a plane, giving you oxygen, you put your mask on first before you help other people. And yeah, that's what we're really trying to break through to get women to start looking after themselves. Our age range is very different to other run clubs as well. We're not the 20 to 30. We are definitely the 30 to 70. We have one of our ladies who has run a couple of marathons in her 70s, is amazing, and still running. And I hope that she's still running when she's 90. But we do that by providing a really, really level playing field. So our beginner programs are all about running from nothing to running for 30 minutes. So we take out the kilometers. So there's no, because you could run 5 kilometers in a completely different time to Kelvin, to myself, where if we're just running for 30 minutes, that's a great goal to be able to achieve. And it's amazing, term on term. And I say we've been doing this 11 years, watching these women build confidence, build their self-esteem, go, oh my God, I can actually do this. And when they reach that 30 minutes, it's just amazing. But that's not where their journey ends. And we can take them on to run further, build endurance, do event training. And we always say, if you hang around with us long enough, we will talk you into doing some kind of event. But yeah, our programs are very structured. Our run club is very structured. All our coaches are qualified and insured. The business is qualified and insured. I think between my 15 run leaders, we have over 100 years of coaching experience between us. As well as, it's not just recreational running. We have ultra trained coaches. So Lisa Sherman, who's not just one of our senior run leaders, but also an amazing nutritionist as well, and our in-house nutritionist, which I'm really happy about. She's ultra trained. She has massive experience in ultra and trail. So we have a depth and breadth of coaching experience available, that it's not necessarily just about beginners, but we absolutely welcome beginners, because that's where the journey starts at the end of the day, and that's where the spark starts.
That's awesome, Mel. I think you have 5,000 women in the program, and so far, what do you think? What is the biggest challenge to convince a woman to join the club? Would that be, wow? I mean, they could be overwhelmed that, whoa, there's a 5,000 women, like, am I be good enough? Things like that. Like, so how can you sort of like identify the biggest challenge to like convince them to join the club and then stay in the club as well? Like, because you don't want them to, obviously, you don't want them to join and then finish like, the following week. Yeah, if you can just share with us, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I've already covered our biggest challenge is that women don't
Mm.
tend to spend money or look after themselves. That they tend to be the bottom of the list when it comes to their families. They often get I've seen so many women come to our programs who are overwhelmed with work, overwhelmed with family.
Yeah.
They are, the mental load is real.
Mm.
And every woman's going to be going, yes, Mel, yes. But yeah, we take on a lot in our lives, and we end up being burnt out and really not looking after ourselves. And I love that a lot of women come into the program because they want some me time back. And I've one particular lady, she turned around to me after the first week and said, oh, I feel like my family are running away from me. So she would sit on the sidelines of the soccer field and watch her kids play, and her husband was sporty as well. And she just felt like she was just sitting on the sidelines of her life, watching everyone else do these amazing things. So for her, learning to run wasn't just about learning to run. Running was just kind of the end result. It was actually finding herself in that whole thing. So the biggest challenge is getting women to actually invest in their health and invest in their wellness, because we end up paying for our illness in the end. But breaking through that barrier is really tough. The wellness industry, I mean, if you were to go on a page which is run by some really well-known celebrity selling a wonder drug, everyone would buy it. But we're just saying, come and run with us for 10 weeks and you can actually feel so much better. So yeah, breaking through that barrier, it has been really tough. As I say, we have been going 11 years, but reaching women and getting them to actually commit is the thing. But once they're in the club, everyone is really loyal. We've had ladies with us for 11 years and are still running with us. We have a little loyalty scheme that we just launched in the Run Club as well. So everyone gets these little boobs on the run pins with the amount of years that they've in the club, which they're loving at the moment. So yeah, keeping people in the club, not a problem. But yeah, convincing women that they need to spend time on their wellness is a struggle. And if anyone can tell me how we overcome that, I would love to listen to you.
Obviously, we talk about empowering and we talk about the importance of the safety that we've touched on there, and an incredible time in our world that we're living in at the moment, not just here in Australia but globally. But obviously, there's lots of homegrown stories both here in New Zealand and sorry, here in Australia and in New Zealand, where and you're Mel, I know you're very passionate about this, and you're very it's something that affects you deeply. Is obviously violence towards women in society at the moment is horrendous, and it's out of control, and it's an epidemic, and it's a problem. What does it mean for you to be able to then, again, through your dealings with these incredible women and in being able to empower that, but being able to share your story and being able to care for these women? How is that affecting us, and where where can we go from here? Because I was discussing this with a colleague the other day, and it truly is uh, scary, but something that we can fix. We've just got to actually acknowledge it and go, right, draw a line in the sand, and let's move on here, folks. But how can we fix this? How can we fix this epidemic that is just taking over at the moment?
Dave, I wish every man thought like you do. And it's great that you do. And I hope that you have many people that you can influence that will also have that feeling. But unfortunately, this world it doesn't work that way. There are so many barriers to push through, and so much history that's happened previously, and the patriarchy and all those things. I could go on for hours about this, but I won't. I don't know how to fix it. Again, putting money into research and advocacy for women who are going through domestic violence is really important. Actually, one of my runners is the CEO of Full Stop Australia, which are based here in New South Wales, and they provide a support service for DV victims. So that's you can call them and chat to them and find out everything that you need through their service. But again, they're not government funded. They fundraise where they can, and it's just supporting those kind of organizations. And for you guys to, when you see something, say something. Don't let it go past. Because that's what kind of carries on the process, really. So yeah, I don't really want to go into too much detail around domestic violence.
I mean, sorry, when I was asking how can we fix it, it wasn't necessarily an answer right here on the spot, but because I mean, this is what myself and one of my commentating colleagues were talking about the other day is that and we were talking about it with some events and things like that about empowering women and to come to the front, because there's always men on the front. There's always men on the start line, obviously, and this is something that's not new. And in multiple events that I'm involved in now, we are definitely bringing women to the front, but it's acknowledging it in a sensitive way. But it's acknowledging it in a way where those women are empowered to be able to go, yep, I deserve to be here on the start line as long as alongside my male counterparts. And I guess through your group, with Boobs on the Run, do you feel that the women that you're empowering and that you're working with and encouraging have the strength? And is that something that is a focus for you? Not necessarily on the start line. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in general. Sorry, I'm being very vague, but in general.
I think you're talking about equity here, right? And
Absolutely.
I think we all would love equity, and a lot of races are now going to, there's equitable prize funds for both men and women. A few more do need to come back, do need to come in line with that. But I think for me, Boobs on the Run gives women confidence to be able to have a go. And I think that's what it's all about. So going to some more grassroots races, like we had Lisa's I'm Still Standing last year, and we had 20 of our Boobs on the Run ladies who'd never run an ultra, never run a backyard ultra in their life, but went, stuff it, I'll have a go. And I love that. I love that have a go attitude, that they're willing just to kind of, okay, well, it's a practice run. That's all I'm thinking about. Or we have women who did their first half marathon yesterday, who never thought that they would get past 10K, for instance, and cried and gave me a hug on the finish line because they just did it, and they proved to themselves that they can do hard things. So I think our community does that really well. We bring people together in a way that makes them feel very comfortable, and that there is no competition. There is no, oh, I'm faster than you, or there's none of that. It's very much about consistently looking after our community and looking after ourselves. And I love it when these ladies come together and support each other. It's so beautiful. It's really, really nice to see. And it was so nice yesterday, as I say, at the event, to have so many Boobs on the Run runners. And we do have some dudes supporting Boobs as well. So we have plenty of men out there who help us out and push forward that narrative as well. So yeah, it's great.
I saw just recent or just this evening on social media, there was a lovely quote that you posted about one of your women that ran yesterday.
Yeah. So yeah, she ran her first half marathon, and I just knew at the beginning she was feeling really nervous. So I thought, okay, I'm going to stick with you. And yeah, she struggled through the run. We made it to about 12K and she was doing fine. And then we got into Struggle Street and it was like, okay, that's fine. Let's just get to the end. Let's just work our way through the next, 11K and we'll get there. And she did. She did. And feeling very good about it today. Probably not so much yesterday, but yeah, feeling very good about it today. So yeah, those are the things that I love about our community, that yeah, women learn that they can do hard things, both in their running journey as well as their lives as well.
Awesome. Mel, can you also so you're also involved in, obviously you're the CEO of Mother's Day Classic.
No, I'm not the CEO of Mother's Day
sorry.
Classic.
No. Can you tell us a little bit about Mother's Day Classic as well?
Sure. So 10 years ago, we decided that we were going to put a team into the Mother's Day Classic in Sydney. And from there on, every year, Boobs on the Run won the largest community group in New South Wales. I think we won it for 7 years running.
Right.
We've been picked at the post for the last 3 years, but I'm actually really happy about that because it's good to have some competition. But Mother's Day Classic was it's just an amazing community across Australia. There are, I think, 85 events this year, and we're coming into our 27th year this year. So it's amazing how much money they have raised for the National Breast Cancer Foundation, and then last year they introduced the Ovarian Cancer Research Foundation as well. So yeah, 3.3 million was donated last year to both of those causes, which is amazing. And that all goes into life-saving research across Australia, which means that the researchers can get on and do their jobs rather than spending 2 years researching and then another year having to raise money because they're researchers. Let them, let's pay them to do actually what we want them to do. Yeah, so this money is fantastic. So I've been part of the committee, which has been the organizing committee for around 8 years. And then 3 years ago, I became the chair for New South Wales. So I look after not just Sydney, I also look after Parramatta. And I have a co-chair now this year who looks after the Parramatta event. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. This week actually is one of my busiest weeks, but it's really it's nice to talk to you guys. But yeah, this lead up is the amazing part where we're making sure that everything is in place. We've got all the entertainment. We've got Dave as our MC, which I'm really happy with. We've got some great people coming to the event. I think Shane Crawford is one of the AIA ambassadors, and AIA are our biggest sponsor this year as well. So yeah, it's going to be an amazing day. And hopefully you guys can post some details.
Absolutely.
How to join
Absolutely.
And if you sign up.
Yeah, that's right. We sign up and do the fundraiser. Yeah, that's right. I mean, being involved there last year, and I really appreciate the opportunity to get involved. And I was out at Parramatta there last year, and you mentioned at the beginning, and you said, "Oh, it's just a fun run." It's not just a fun run because, and like what you're doing with Boobs on the Run, there's so much depth and meaning behind what we're doing here. I mean, yesterday was a fun run in a way. Sure, it was a half marathon, but it was a fun day out. Like it was a really good day out. There's some substance and depth behind this weekend, and it is again leading into Mother's Day, and it's a very special day for many people, and many people. And this is the thing that was so incredible out there at Parramatta last year and all around the country of all of the different locations that actually hold one of these events, holds the Mother's Day Classic events, is that um, so many people, too many people, but so many people have been infected by this terrible disease, and whether it be breast cancer or ovarian cancer, and whether they're running for their mum or they're running for themselves or they're running for their sisters. Uh, it was just so moving, and I'm sort of trying to hold it all together now. And you probably can tell this evening I'm sort of trying to choose my words carefully because I really want to do justice in this episode tonight with Cowbell of what we're talking, the subjects we're talking about through Boobs on the Run and through with what you're doing there, Mel, with the equity in females in running and empowering women, but also this incredible cause that we're running for on the weekend because or that we're involved with the weekend because so many people have been affected, and that was one of the most touching uh, moments last year, but I'm sure throughout the whole, and this is why it's so big now and it's become so important because people are coming out on Mother's Day to celebrate loved ones and friends and families that have been affected by this. And there's many different
Yeah.
organizations around doing some incredible fundraising for all this, but it is just truly so special.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm a mum without a mum. So obviously my son and my husband come out and do the Mother's Day Classic, and Henry has been doing the Mother's Day Classic, I think, since he was 3. He's now 12. So that's awesome. Um, but yeah, it's a really important day where we can come together, especially those people who aren't mums yet or can't be mums, or have lost children, or are mums without mums as well. It's a way for us to come together and celebrate us being women rather than us being mothers. So it gives us a togetherness, I think, that is really, really beautiful. And we actually do an embrace and honor minute of silence at the event before the walkers set themselves off. And it's about remembering those that we've lost, those that are still there and struggling and working their way through their cancer battle, and those that have survived and are still here to tell their tale. So it's a really important event. As I say, it raises a massive amount of money across Australia, and it's been happening every Mother's Day. But again, so many people don't actually know about it either. So thank you for the opportunity for letting me talk about it today as well.
Oh, for our audience that's growing, it's a pleasure to share it, and we'll definitely be able to, call it out there in the notes and things like that. I guess, and I mean, having known women than myself, that have, fell victim to breast cancer, and even it, I'm pausing. I'm doing lots of pregnant pauses because like I was just reminded when you were just talking just then, like down at Buffalo Stampede, there was a lovely lady who came up to me, and obviously I was on the microphone there, and she came up to me and she goes, I just want to come up and ask a question. I said, yeah, sure, sure. And she goes, I've had a double mastectomy, and I am running today because I'm a survivor, and I've survived, but then she's been struck down with a secondary cancer. So she was living with that. She only had who knows how long to live, but she was out there running. And one, I was really taken back, uh, and just so humbled at the confidence of her, but also that she was, well, she wanted to check because she was doing one of the small distances, and there was lots of children. Obviously, there was lots of children out there. And we sort of briefly just put it together because she was actually asking for permission, and we didn't want to take that away from her. And I guess this is what I'm touching on here is about how we can make it relevant to the community and more people aware about it so they know about it this weekend and come out and run about it. How can we make this and not be a stigma and not be something that's shunned away and not talked about?
Yeah. I think in the female community, we do talk about these things.
Mm,
I mean, men get breast cancer too.
sure.
It's not just women. They're obviously a smaller minority, but they do get breast cancer too. But it affects, families of the breast cancer. The person who's got breast cancer, it affects their partners, it affects their families, it affects their children. And I think when you think of it like in that respect, that the money that we're raising, if we can stop breast cancer from happening, then that really helps that process. And ovarian cancer is unfortunately one of those diseases that has such a low survival rates because it gets caught so late, because a lot of the symptoms are symptoms that we as women have every month. So it's always usually caught very, very late. So the survival rate is very low, where the survival rate for breast cancer has improved steadily over the last 25 years, where ovarian cancer has stayed stagnant. So yeah, raising money now for an additional cause where women can survive through that, I think is really important. But yeah, sorry, going back to your question, I think we just need to keep talking about it, and we need to keep allowing women to be who they need to be when they're going through this process. A lot of women turn to running or exercise because it's a great way to overcome the symptoms of the radiation therapy or the chemotherapy that they're having. And it also lessens their chances of getting a secondary cancer as well. But yeah, the community being open to that, I think, is really important. And I think most of the time the community is. What do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, obviously, in a time where, um, yeah, there's lots of incredible causes out there, and there's lots of, fundraising and things like this, but we're talking about, lives, and look, there's many different things across the board that we're all involved in and all touched on, and we had, Emma Rose there, on one of our previous episodes, and what she's doing for the community and things like that as well. So there's so much there. It's just, yeah. I'm sort of, I've it's one of those things I'm sort of trying to, as I said, I'm trying to do it justice and trying to get from a bloke's perspective, a dude talking about this, I, is just trying to get that right message and that right understanding out there.
Yeah, yeah. And you are doing all the right things, right? Having this podcast, you're going to be talking to many people across many different platforms about many different things. And the way we all come into running it is different. For me, my business was born out of a tragedy in my life, but I've made it work for me, and I've made it work for lots of other women out there. And it is a community, but it also is a business for me. It pays my mortgage at the end of the day, and makes me look after myself. So I keep nice and active whilst also being paid for it. But all of the women that we empower and bring on as coaches are also paid within our community as well. So I'm not asking people for favors. I'm asking them to give their experience, and they're getting paid for it. They're getting the super and all those kind of things. So yeah, that's a really important part of the business as well.
Mm-hmm. So what's next for your business, Mel? Like obviously, I mean, your goal is to get more women join the club, join the community, right? Any other sort of like big plan ahead, like
Of course, there's always world domination in and I do joke about it, but why not, right? If you think inside the box, you're always going to stay inside the box. But we are always open to opportunity. I call hills mounds of opportunity to all the ladies who run with me. They're going to laugh at that. But yeah, it's about being open to opportunity and what's available out there. We're always building relationships and partnerships with different worlds, different parts. If we can get other people moving, not necessarily just women, I'd be really happy to do that as well. We actually just launched our Everyone on the Run Sydney Marathon program. So we're coaching both men and women for those for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. So we're really excited about those programs going ahead. And we've expanded year on year on the events that we're doing. We're doing backyard ultras, we're doing ultras. We had a few ladies do the pink triathlon last year as well. So expanding in lots of different ways, but as I say, we're always open to opportunity of where we can go and who we can bring into the community. That may be with online programs, but I do love that our program's all about kind of giving people a little hug along the way, where I think, online programs can sometimes be a little bit distant. So yeah, we like to keep the community feel and within what we do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think, Mel, what really sort of inspire me, from your journey is that obviously your mom passed away because of breast cancer. But you turned the tragic into a opportunity as such. Like you and you, your entrepreneurship as well. I think something that it could be something that I think you probably have inspired a lot of women to start their own business. Like it may not be coaching, but it could be something that they never thought about in the past. So I think yeah, awesome what you're doing. Yeah.
I always say that at Boobs on the Run, the running is just the end result. It's everything that goes along that way that builds a woman's self-esteem, builds her confidence, allows her to make decisions in different ways. We've had lots of ladies come through our programs who have taken away who've continued to run but have taken away so much more from the programs outside. So they've got, as I say, raises at work, or they've changed their job, or they've got out of a DV situation, or because they've had the support of the women around them, and everyone rallies together, and that's the most beautiful part about this. I love the running, don't get me wrong, running is but yeah, and just going to different or we often go into different run clubs, and we support other partners with run clubs as well. And I love that aspect of it, because we're not working against each other. It's about bringing all our communities together, because at the end of the day, we want to get people moving.
Yeah,
that's our mission.
Yeah, I can see a lot of your partners on your website. I think it's really good that you really not only just do it on your own, but you really partnering with other business who see the same value, who have the potential same mission, be able to help the community. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Dave said, when he first met me, he was working at the runner shop in Randwick, and we've had that relationship for a long time, and most of our partners have been with us for 10+ years.
Right.
So it is all about building relationships with those people, and we really, again, it comes all down to community. So we support each other, and it's all about making sure that they have what they need, and we have what we need from the relationship. There's never been a signed contract. We don't kind of do that. It's all like a handshake and an agreement. And I love that about the partnerships that we've built, that there's never been a need to do that.
And so how many chapters are there actually?
So we have nine. So in our run club, we have 19 sessions across 11 locations across Sydney now,
Mm,
which is great, seeing as we started with one and on the
mm.
back run because it was just me. And yeah, it's growing steadily. I constantly get emails from all over the country saying, are you coming to Melbourne? Are you coming to Queensland? Are you coming to Perth? I wish we could open just everywhere, but finding really good coaches that kind of fit our criteria, because we're very, very careful about who we let loose on our community. Yeah, but as I say, if we can find the coaches, we'll provide the programs. So yeah, we hope to be able to expand into the rest of Australia, and who knows where from there.
World domination.
Yeah.
And then with the MDC, with Mother's Day Classic, then what are we talking there? Give us a few stats from that.
So we're looking to prior to COVID, we had over 100,000 attendees Australia wide.
Wow.
We have increased the amount of events that are happening across Australia. I believe it's currently sitting at 85 for this year. For Sydney, we're looking at around 7,000 attendees on the day, and for Parramatta, about 2,000. And we're hoping in this last week, with hopefully the weather will stay good. Everyone pray to the sun gods, because we do not want it to be like it was last year.
Trust me, after last week, there's no rain left in the sky.
I
Okay,
hope not.
it's all fallen out of the sky. There is no
I
more
hope
rain
not.
to fall.
So yeah, this last week is usually where everyone signs up, because they go, oh, well, we've got nothing else to do, so we'll go to the Mother's Day Classic. It's a great family event.
Right.
There's entertainment, lots of food, lots of giveaways from our sponsors. They're all very, very they're great at giving away freebies on the day. So there's some free coconut water. I think there's some free what else? Some bars. There'll be free yogurts, or sorry, yogurts, as I always get told. Uh, there'll be people giving out fruit. We've got some great food vendors this year. We've got the amazing Primo truck coming back, and every dollar that's given on that day, they give back to Mother's Day Classic. So if you buy something from the Primo truck on the day, that money is coming back to us as well, which is fantastic. Plus, you'll get to see the amazing Dave on stage.
Got nothing to. That's a very, 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 very,
So if
very
you haven't
small,
lost your
very
voice
small
by the
budget.
end of
No,
the
I haven't lost. And then, but then what? But then nationally. So what? We've got Victoria and
Oh,
Queensland.
so yeah,
Both, yeah.
sorry, you can join the Mother's Day Classic
Yeah.
anywhere across Australia. There are local events, there are bigger major events. So obviously Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Hobart all have major events, and then there are smaller events dotted around. But if you go to the website, you'll be able to find the nearest one near you. There are lots in New South Wales. I think there's one in DY, one in Camden, which is quite big. The girls down there do an amazing job. But yeah, you can even do it in your own time. So you can just sign up and just do a 5K or a 10K in your own time and raise some money that way as well.
So, and partly the reason I got you to give it a rundown of both of what you're doing, Mel, you are incredibly community minded. Okay, and you've
Thank
got
you.
multiple hats,
Mm.
and you're very driven, as Kelvin touched on there before. Um, what is it that keeps you going? What is it that keeps getting you? I mean, and we've talked about some, stories and some incredible success stories that have come out of that. But what is it that keeps getting you out of bed and wanting to fight for the community and push this? Because hearing you rattle all this off, I mean, it's a huge undertaking.
Yeah, and sometimes I wonder how I do it myself. So come Monday, I'll be a heap. But look, I love what I do. I love giving back to the community. Because because I'm not busy enough. I was also on the baseball committee for my son for the last 3 years. So I ran their canteen for the last 3 years, because I'm not busy enough on a Saturday, and then I run an online Facebook community here in my local area in Concord called Concord Mums Unite. Yeah, I have many hats, but I just love it. I love being part of. I love being able to give back to the community and love being part of what we can do for our community. Um, and I'm a great connector, so I love going, oh, you need this and you need this, and I'm going to put you guys together. So that's one of my superpowers is I'm a great connector. But what do I get out of it? Look, I'm not doing it for the fame or to get a pat on the back. That's not what this is about. I'm certainly not doing it for the money. This is about getting women moving and them not having to go through what I did and losing their mothers so young, or them losing their lives for their children so young as well. It's about setting example for our kids. Because my both my parents weren't very sporty at all, and both my brother and I aren't marathon runners, so it's weird that we've both kind of gone into that. But yeah, I really want to set an example for my son, and I think I've done that. He, as I say, he will come to a run as long as there's a medal involved, and yeah, and take part. But yeah, I don't know. What do I get out of it?
Well,
It's hard to
you
put
don't need
into
to
words.
necessarily answer that. Do you think that you got some of that from your mum? Do you think you got some of that community mindedness from your mum?
Yeah, my mum was a jack of all trades, master of none. She'd take on any job, just because she could. She used to test. At one point, she was test driving cars for Fiat. How she got that job, I have no idea. She had
As you do.
she had an HGV license, so she drove lorries or trucks, as you call them. She did all sorts of stuff during her lifetime, which I think is just great. You know, it's like let's give everything a go and see where we go.
Mm.
And see where we get to. She was always very generous as well. If any of my friends are listening to this in the UK, they'll all always know that if you came to my house, you'd go home with a bag of something, because my mum was always generous. Yeah, so yeah, I love that about her. And she had a great sense of humor as well. So yeah.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Now, I think Kelvin's got some questions for you. Kelvin, shoot away.
Yeah, Dave.
Question.
Well, yeah, just yeah, it's thinking like you so Mel, we always ask our guests the cowbell moment. But before we ask that, so I'm gonna ask you five quick fire questions. So the first one is what is your favorite post one snack?
Ooh. Okay.
Now, this is a
So
new addition to Cowbell, so
that's
welcome,
okay.
folks.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I do love a second breakfast, and that's any kind of second breakfast.
Yeah.
But, I do love a hot cross bun, and I have been known
Mm,
to buy them and freeze them so I can use them as fuel because I use them during my runs as well.
yep.
Uh, but my favorite at the moment are these little health bites. They're peanut butter and chocolate chip, like protein
Ah.
balls. They are so good. So,
What
so good.
what's the name of the bar?
No, no, hang on. We're not trying to get into paid partnerships here.
No, no, no. Actually,
Let's re- let's
I want to
let's remain
know.
let's remain
All right,
neutral.
next one, next one.
Let's just be the
It was
ABC for a little while here, okay?
Yep, next
Dave, it was
question.
actually Cindy that introduced me to them
All right, okay.
when we were looking after Lisa at the Coast to Cozzy.
All right.
Ah,
Yes, we were sat in the car waiting for Lisa to come the 5K that she was running each time. And yeah, I was offered one of these balls and it's like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever.
I
And
need to
that's probably
know.
because we've been in the car and awake for 48 hours. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, I need to find out. Okay, sunrise or sunset run?
Oh,
Oh,
running. Oh, good question.
I do love a run rise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Run rise,
run
good.
rise.
sunrise. Yeah, cool. What is
Because
the?
you
Ah, yeah.
get smug points, right, for getting it done.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, cool. What is the run song that always get you moving?
Oh, okay. So we in our groups we actually ask our ladies to have a power song, and we ask
Ah,
listen to it before they go running. So
yep,
I say put it on really loud in the car and sing like no one's watching. And my favorite song is by Daughtry. And I think they were an American Idol winner,
right.
Daughtry, and it's I'll Fight.
And that's your
Ah,
So
power.
right.
that's
That's
my
your
favorite
power
song.
song.
Power song.
That's my
Awesome.
power song. And everyone's going to be Googling that now because no
Yeah, I
one
know.
knows
I
them.
know. We'll put it. We'll link it in the notes.
All right, next one. Roll or trail?
Sorry, say that again.
Roll running or trail running?
Oh, road, definitely. I'm not a trail
Definitely.
runner.
That's a runner.
I
Okay.
am not a goat at all. No.
All right, last one. Who's someone who can inspire you in running?
Oh, okay. That's a tough one. There are so many out there, but I'm going to have to say it's Lisa Sherman. So
Ah,
she she inspired me to run the ultra that I did. So I did the Southern Sydney Ultra that Shaggy organizes, and I did it. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? Perhaps 2 years ago, I think it was.
yeah, right.
And we were in the Hunter Valley. We were talking about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do the 12
Yep.
hour. No, was it? No, I think she did the 24 hour. Was it 24 or 12? Anyway, she did one of that. She was talking about doing it. I went, oh, I couldn't think of anything worse than running around a track for that amount of hours. Like,
Yeah.
what are you thinking? And she goes, oh, look, you break it down. You break it down into this, this, and this. And after 20 minutes, she'd convinced me and I'd booked myself in.
Lisa loves
Wow.
running around in circles, by the
She does.
way,
She does.
but for a
Um,
long time.
yeah. So much so, after that, I said I'd never do it again because it was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I
Mm.
couldn't for probably 4 days afterwards. Um, and I signed up again this year. So there you go.
That would be as hard as like a couple of our guests in on the Cowbell podcast. I mean, uh, Amy Hewitt and Dale Peace, like they both sort of like fundraising and 100K on treadmill. Like that would be as hard as running
Yeah.
100K on treadmill. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I've supported a couple of people doing those kind of things. Like Mark Avery did the 24 hours on a treadmill. I think he was
Mm.
trying to do like 40K or something. It was like the world record of running for 24 hours on a treadmill. I was like, now that's just nuts beyond nuts. And then he did, was it 42 marathons in 42 days? And yeah,
Ah.
it's like, mate, you really don't need to do that yourself. But anyway, it's like whatever floats your boat, right? And whatever
Yeah.
gets you to your end result and what you want to achieve, I think is great.
Yeah. People are getting creative now, like try
Oh,
to
you gotta stand out from the crowd.
yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
we'll have to get Lisa on. She's also been on the list.
Mm.
You definitely will.
She's very very well connected. So that's a nice little link there. So thank you for sharing that.
All right, I think the most important questions
Mm.
now, Mel, is what is your cowbell moment?
Look, it's not a running moment, I guess. So last year I was nominated for an award which I was not expecting to win, but I
Mm.
did. And I was nominated for Business Person of the Year for Inner West. Um,
Ah, wow.
and I went to the event not thinking, we would win. So our business has been up for nominations for many years as well. I think we won it once in 2018, and yeah, it was it was such an honor to be um, chosen out of 30 odd other business owners across the inner west. Um, it was nice to be, what's the word?
Recognized.
Recognized, yes,
Mm.
recognized for what we do. And for me to be able to thank my run leaders who are a massive part of that as well, and also the ladies who are part of our community, because without them, this community wouldn't exist. So yeah,
very nice.
that's kind of my little cowbell moment.
That's not little. That's a big
No,
one.
it's not little, and I guess in wrapping things up here, I mean, we talked about community before, and that right there is the epitome. It's the highlight. It's your cowbell moment. It's that emphasizes the fact that what you are doing, Mel Warman, in the community is recognized, but it's also noticed and rewarded duly and rewarded in a way, and pardon me, and that's not necessarily, by a trophy sitting on a cabinet or anything like that. It's because of the genuine heartfelt work that you do in the community, whether it's be Boobs on the Run or with MDC, with the Mother's Day Classic, is rewarded. And so you should be extremely proud, and you should be extremely, honored, because you are worldly deserving of such an award.
Thank you. I appreciate that. As I say, I don't do it to get a pat on the back, but it was really nice just to kind of be thanked and be able to give that back as well, and be able to thank my community for everything that they do that's got us there, really. So yeah, it's awesome.
Well, Mel, we'll definitely make sure, or you can send us the details that we can include in here. But is there anything in signing out that you know, you want to leave us with, or that where people can go to get more information, one on Boobs on the Run, and obviously, and then on their Mother's Day Classic and raising money, whether it's being involved in this weekend or not? Yeah, is there anything you want to leave us with there?
So I'm sure you're going to put all the website links,
Yeah.
but our website is www.boobsontherun.com.au. You're never going to forget the name Boobs on the Run now, ever. It's been mentioned so many times. Mother's Day Classic, mothersdayclassic.com.au. If you do come along, please join the Boobs on the Run team when you sign up, either for the 5K or the 10K, because we might be able to be the biggest community again this year. Or is that cheating? I don't know. Yeah, help us raise some more money. Get your family along on the day. Come and join us. It is a great event, and we've got some great offerings this year as well. And I just hope that everyone keeps running. Really, that's my hope. Keep moving. Motion is lotion. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for having me on.
Oh, it's been an
Thank
absolute
you so much,
pleasure.
Mel.